Hello everyone, FPO Willem here. In this video I will show you guys my wildcard for game week 4. I will not wildcard myself, but if you find yourself in a scenario due to various reasons, let's say red cards or injuries, to wildcard, then this will be my advice on a team, on a wildcard team. And even if you don't wildcard, you could pick out some players for the long run, as I will, well, adapt the players for the long run, not just for the first game. That will be more of a limitless play. But to start off, as always, as last video, let's get on to the targets for a wildcard team. Now, the targets. To start off with the teams you want to target with the best upcoming fixtures. So that's basically this list. And you see that AC Milan and Atletico Madrid have a bad first game. But after that it will be better fixtures. As you can see from Milan, they play on the Tuesday against Real Madrid. Now, one of the worst teams you will face, but at least it's on the Tuesday, and if it doesn't work out, you can sub them out. And after that, you have Slovan, Bratislava, Red Star, Girona, and Dinamo Zagreb. And for Atleti, it's a bit more difficult as they play on the Wednesday against Paris Saint-Germain. This means you can't sub out an Atletico Madrid player, but you can sub out an AC Milan player. So yeah, that may be a bit risky, but after this game you could focus on Atletico Madrid players. Celtic plays a risky game at home against Red Bull Leipzig, but that's on the Wednesday as well. So pick or choose. Every other team has a great first few fixtures, and most of them have multiple games or great games in a row. So these are my targets to focus on with the best schedule. This doesn't mean you can't pick a Salah from Liverpool, but Liverpool faces Leverkusen and Real Madrid, so I fancy my chances basically somewhere else. For now, let's go on to the goalkeepers. So I've decided to go with the PSV goalie Benitez and Atalanta goalkeeper Canessisi. Not even close. Canessisi. I have it written down here, but the Atalanta goalkeeper. These two have a decent rotation, let's say that. And with the upcoming fixtures, they have great odds to keep a clean sheet. I will show you guys the rotation after my full wildcard team. After that I will show you guys some kind of Excel sheet with who plays on Tuesday, who plays on a Wednesday. There is also maybe even a better option, but that's a personal opinion. With Schmeichel, the Celtic goalkeeper, only 4.4 million. Schmeichel rotates better with Canessisi than Benitez, but I fancy my chances with PSV goalkeeper a bit more for a clean sheet than with the Celtic goalkeeper. But that's, as I said, that's personal opinion. So if you don't like it, you could go with Schmeichel instead of Benitez. But as I said, personal opinion. For now, these are my goalkeepers. Let's move on to the defenders. So for the defenders, I've decided to go with Can, Zappacosta, Lewis, Balde, and Schlotterbeck. This means I've doubled up on the Dortmund defense, and I think they will keep a clean sheet against Sturm Graz at home in their first fixture. Next to Can is Zappacosta. Zappacosta has shown an attacking threat and has kept a clean sheet in every game so far. Next to Zappacosta is Lewis, a risky City player. He didn't play, or he did play, he got 20 minutes this weekend, but for most part he didn't play, so I expect him to start. But if he plays, I think he will get attacking returns against Sporting, and after that he gets maybe a clean sheet against Feyenoord. I don't know if they're gonna get a clean sheet against Sporting, as they can't keep a clean sheet against Bournemouth apparently. But I think Lewis has some attacking threats in him, and he plays on Tuesday. So if it doesn't work out, you can sub him out. And last, next to Schlotterbeck, is Balde, Barcelona defender. Balde has shown a decent amount of attacking threats, saves a bit of money compared to Koundé. Koundé is also a great option, but I couldn't quite fit him in. He also gets some ball recoveries as well, around 3 to 6, so 1 or 2 points every game. You could also, if you want to take out a little bit more money out of the defense, you could go instead with Kubarsi, also a Barcelona defender. You can save 0.5 million from that, and don't expect any attacking returns from Kubarsi though. So that's my defense. Let's move on to the midfield. So midfield, I've gone with Rafinha, Foden, Pulisic, Musiala, and Lookman. Now, I will go one by one. I've talked about Rafinha in my last video, but he is showing that he can get points against them. Well, basically against every opponent. As he scored against Bayern, well, he got big points, let's say it like that. And with the upcoming fixtures, which I will show you, as I said before, after this wildcard team, I think he will score some big points. It would be peak fantasy football style though if Jamal steals all the points from now on, but yeah, that's basically fantasy football for you. Next to Rafinha is Foden. He's getting more minutes in the Premier League, and I think in the Champions League he gets every game so far. This also comes because of an injury from De Bruyne, but I think Foden is nailed on the Champions League for now. Foden got goals and assists in him and got 2 man of the matches in the last 2 games, so feels like yeah, an open door. Next to Foden is Lookman. Bit of a risk, I gotta admit. He gets around 60 to 70 minutes. If he does great in those 60-70 minutes, thumbs up. I know the first fixture, I don't know against who it is, Stuttgart. I think it's against Stuttgart. It is on the Wednesday, so you can't sub him out. But his attacking contributions are quite up there with the best, just for a lesser team in Atalanta. I've talked about him a bit more in my last video, so if you want to know some more about him, just if you would like to watch that video back. Now next to Lookman is Pulisic. Maybe the most questionable, as he plays against Real Madrid, possibly the worst team you can face, as I've said earlier. But the reason is that I'm putting in my team is basically for future planning. The games after Real Madrid are Bratislava away, Red Star at home, Girona at home, and Dinamo Zagreb at home. So those are great 4 fixtures. Now, if those fixtures don't convince you, I don't know what will convince you. You could take him in after that, but I couldn't quite find a good solution with only 2 transfers to fit Pulisic in. And just a spoiler, an early spoiler, my plan is to, in this wildcard team, to get in Game Week 5 Theo Hernandez. So that's another AC Milan defender, but I'd rather have a midfielder against Real Madrid than a defender against Real Madrid. As I said, he plays against Real Madrid on a Tuesday, so you can sum him out. His stats are also great, scoring 5 goals and 3 assists in the league, and in the Champions League he scored 2 goals as well in the last 3 games. Those were against Liverpool and Brugge, those goals then. And the last one next to Pulisic is Musiala. He isn't injured. I don't know if it's still on that he is injured, but he isn't injured, or might be injured. He isn't injured. He played against Bochum. Musiala has also some decent fixtures, and even against the more difficult fixtures like, who was it? Rafinha has done. Musiala can do the same. So, on to the attack. Now for the forwards, I've decided to go with Luuk de Jong, Guirassy and Haaland. I will make it quick with Haaland at least, as he is, well, Haaland. He gets balls fed into him in exciting places in the box. He isn't doing all too well in the league, as he only scored against Southampton in the last 3 games. Once against Southampton. But I think he is still a great option to have, and maybe even a must with the games they're getting. He's on penalties as well. I think he will at least get a haul in one of the games in the future games. But yeah, that's Haaland. Now Luuk de Jong has some great upcoming fixtures as well, and he might not have done anything. I think he scored 2 in every game. That's basically standing there for 90 minutes doing nothing. But he is killing it in the Dutch league, and the reason, well, one of the reasons he didn't quite perform against the last 3 fixtures is because they were quite difficult. They were Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain and Sporting. Now in Sporting he was quite unlucky, but he did have some attacking threats there. He didn't score. But for the next 4 games they will play against Girona at home, then Shakhtar at home, Brest away and Red Star away. Those are the lesser teams in the league, and I think he will get some, or at least nick some goals here and there, and maybe even some assists. And a great reminder that he is also on penalties. Now, next to another penalty taker, not always a penalty taker. If the game is set and done, Guirassy takes the penalties. Else it would be Can. But in this team you would have them both. So maybe at least you can guarantee the penalty taker from Dortmund. Guirassy has shown this season that he is getting better. He didn't start all too well, but he's getting better and better. And with the upcoming fixtures with Sturm Graz, Dinamo Zagreb, Bologna and Shakhtar, I think Guirassy can show his worth there. Now this is basically my wildcard team. I will show you guys what it would look like if you plan it a bit more out in another Excel sheet. Now, as I've promised, the Excel sheet with Tuesday and Wednesday games for matchday 4, 5, 6 and 7. In matchday 8 they will play on the same day, as everyone will play on a 9 PM game, which will be insane. So many games, and I think there will be, yeah, you can get some distance there from your mini league team. I think it will be detrimental matchday 8 if you get it right. If you get it spot on, great there. I think you're ahead of your mini league then by far if you get matchday 8 right. But now this scenario, well, you can see here with the 15 players I've picked and even 4 players below with Hernandez, Jimenez, Gabriel and Kane. Yeah, it probably won't plan out as I've done, but I wanted to just show you how it would look like without injuries or red cards. The first game week is great fixtures with only Pulisic getting a difficult game. After that I plan out to take Zappacosta and Slotterbeck. I will transfer them out if everything would go right. Now they both have great games on the match day 5, so if it doesn't work out with getting injuries, you can still hold them. But for now I'm taking out Zappacosta and Slotterbeck, and I will fill in Hernandez and Jimenez. Hernandez has great game and has attacking threats, and Jimenez has some great matches against Sparta Prague and Bratislava, and he's ending it off in game week 8 with Salzburg, who is doing horrible. So I think that will be an okay, and it's basically planning for a match day 6, as match day 6 will be difficult, and Hernandez and Jimenez have 2 great games in match day 6. And Zappacosta is getting Real Madrid at home, and who is getting Slotterbeck? Slotterbeck is getting Barcelona at home. Yeah, so that's basically why I wanted to take him out early if I have the chance. If you don't, well, you have to take care of your injuries or red cards or whatever. After that, in match day 6, I would take out the City boys Haaland and Lewis. I think Foden is a great pick to stay in your team, as I think the attacking threat will be there. Haaland hasn't really showed it against the big teams. He scored once against Arsenal, but after that and before that he didn't really score against the big teams. I would fill in I would fill in Kane and Gabriel, as you can see on the bottom. They have great games, the last 3 games: Monaco, Shakhtar, Dinamo Zagreb, Feyenoord, and Girona and Bratislava. Now this doesn't mean Lewis and Haaland won't score points in those games, but I just think the percentage of chance Gabriel and Kane will score more points than Lewis and Haaland will, as they have the fixtures in their favor. So, as I said, bigger chance of points. Doesn't mean it will happen. So that's basically my team. I would take for game week 4 with the wildcard. To end it off, obviously it's advice and it's giving my perspective. You can fill it out however you want. You can copy this, but as I said, this is my perspective on a game week wildcard 4 team. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are getting closer to 100 subs, and that would be amazing if that would happen this season. I'm 75 right now, so big thanks to everyone who subscribed. Thanks for the support, and see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye bye.